Helena Hart, and I'm here with my friend and fellow coach, Anya Grace. We wish you guys could all be here during the setup of this and the thumbnail taking process. It's always so funny. We always laugh the hardest right before our live stream, but we're so excited. It's been a while since we've done this, and we love connecting with you guys this way. Let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. We never are really sure if we're live or if anyone can hear us, so let us know where you're watching from, and we're so excited to get started. Today we're going to be talking about 2 questions to ask to attract the love of your life. And this could really work for any situation. Specifically, we're going to be talking about how to really manifest your dream relationship, right? But I think it also works if you're with a man and you're looking to kind of reconnect things or bring your partner closer too, right?
And it also works if you're working to manifest money or purpose, more like a specific career that you want to go down. It's any area of your life. These 2 questions can really apply.
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, Patty, Tasha, Shelby, Design Life. Thank you guys so much. We're super excited. We're going to try and keep this one short for you guys because we got to run. But I'll just jump right. Is there anything you want to say before we start, actually? Okay. All right. And if you guys have questions, let us know in the chat. We'll get to them at the very end. So, awesome. Thanks for letting us know where you're watching from. We love you guys so much. We're so excited for this. So the first question to ask is pretty straightforward. This one's a little more obvious. The second one is kind of interesting. We're actually really excited to hear your answers to these questions. The first one is, if you knew that this was an absolute guarantee to you, meaning if you're single, if you knew the love of your life was going to walk right into your life, within the next 6 months to a year, or set a time frame that feels good to you, what would you do differently and how would you feel differently? Would you relax more? Would you kind of feel more at peace within yourself? Would you stop trying to make things happen so urgently with, when you're on dates or when you're with the man you're interested in? What would you do differently if you knew this was just an absolute guarantee to you? Of course, the love of your life is going to show up. Of course, things are going to work out with the guy you're dating. What would you do differently? What I hear a lot from my clients and just women I ask this to in my community is they could just kind of relax. They would probably just enjoy the moment more and kind of just be more in the present rather than being up in their head, fast forwarding to the future. And in terms of how this actually calls in your man or brings your man closer if you're in a relationship, Anya, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah. So exactly what this question does is it ultimately sets you up in an energy that is much more magnetic. So the number one energy that this question can help you access is trust. And trust is one of those powerful feminine energies to embody, not just in love relationship, but just in your entire life. If you really want to be kind of taken to your highest potential and really live an amazing life that's kind of beyond your wildest dreams, really getting out of the I need to control the situation, I need to know how everything is going to work out, and kind of taking your hands off a little bit and leaning back, both physically and metaphorically, activates the energy of trust. And that's super effective for really activating your magnetic energy. So that's just one thing that came up.
Yeah. And it's your vibe, really. I love your guys' answers. Yes, I'd be happy. I'd lean back. Exactly. I'd relax and enjoy it. I wouldn't stop kissing. Cindy says at 66, I'd be thrilled after being single for 20 years. Yeah. So it's just, when are you more magnetic to any desires? When you're worried about it, when you're up in your head, strategizing, feeling like maybe this won't happen, when you're doubting it, or when you just kind of let it go and you're trusting that of course it's going to happen. That's when those things come right in. If you ever notice things that you just kind of want lightly tend to just show right up in your life and come towards you very easily, versus kind of these bigger ticket items like attracting your soulmate or attracting lots of money or growing a business. These things that we have resistance and old beliefs and thought patterns that aren't really serving us sometimes take a lot longer to come into our lives because we have this resistance. But luckily, there's totally a way to turn all of this around. So that's the first question. And for those of you watching the replay, let us know in the comment section down below too your answers to this question. Rebecca says, free to love, free to trust, free to give from our hearts. Yeah, so attractive. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and that brings us to the second question we want all of you ladies to ask. And Anya, you want to take this one?
Yes. So first, before we go into that, what's really important about what we're talking about too is that you get to decide what you create. You get to decide what kind of relationship you get to be in. So if you commit to that dream and you release who and how and when it happens, you're ensuring the outcome
Mm-hmm.
by knowing that you are unrelenting in your commitment to yourself, and this is the kind of love and commitment and devotion that I get to have. People will come in and they'll go out, but what you're committed to, you're already in a committed relationship, and that is a committed relationship to your dream and what you want. And so that's really important, because sometimes the anxiety that pulls us away from the magnetic nature is the fear of, what if this never happens to me? So part of with that first question is really knowing that if this was already done, it's already done. If you have truly committed to yourself, then the who, how, when is just waiting to show itself to you. But the manifestation has already taken place, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Love it. I'm just watching these questions every time I look over here. That's why I haven't given up on hope, faith, and believe. Absolutely. Hello, Mila, Sean. Rebecca says, I'm committed to myself and what I want. I'm wanting in a relationship. Yeah. So that is great. Absolutely. If you want it and you get out of the way of it, it's going to show right now. Something I tell my clients is like, if you say you want a great relationship or a great business or whatever we're looking to create in their lives, if you were to just never think about that again, that man or that money or whatever it is you're wanting would just flow into your life so effortlessly. But what are the odds of that happening? We don't usually do that as humans, right? We want something and then immediately we doubt it, or we argue for all our limitations, or we basically activate a vibration of what's in the way of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm trying to think of really common things I hear. You want a great relationship, but then you say things like, well, there are no good men left in my city. I live in a small town, or all the men my age want someone younger, or all the men I'm attracting have tons of baggage. You kind of tell these same old stories over and over, and you kind of activate the vibration of what's in the way of you getting what you want, rather than activating the presence of what you want, which would allow it to come right in, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the difference between, I know that I get to have blank, but if that I'm not attached to it being from that specific person. And that's really hard to do because we get attached to certain people. But if you can release your attachment to the specifics and know that it's like, just relax a little bit between you and that person, or you and that outcome, that's the energy that allows it to really get set in stone, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great question. Any tips on how to apply this to a business? Yes, I just got done recording a video with our really good friend, Chelsea Rose, that I'll be posting soon, but you can absolutely apply this to any situation in your life. So the question for you would be, what would happen if that business you're looking to create, it was a guarantee to you and everything was going to come together? And Heather, we just started. We're like 8 minutes in. So the first question to ask, just to recap for you and anyone who's just joining, is if you knew that this love you desired, this man or this reconnection in your relationship was an absolute guarantee to you, it was right around the corner, it was the next logical step, what would you do differently? How would you feel? Would you be feeling anything different than what you're feeling right now? So yes, the replay of this will be posted, and let's jump into the second one.
Yeah. So number 2 is super interesting. Oh my gosh, it is so powerful to do this question, to work with this question. So the question is, if this never came into my life, what would I do differently? So it's actual process and practice. You kind of have to sit into it slowly and go into it, but think about what it is that you really, really want. So if it's love, think about all of the hours, literally all of the hours that you have spent in your precious life, all of the time, all of the energy you have spent thinking about wanting and wishing for love to come into your life. That energy of grasping and clinging and desiring and just like, I want this so, so, so bad. Universe, please bring this into my life. That energy is actually the opposite of magnetic. Mm-hmm. So think about all of the time and energy you have spent wanting love to come into your life. Or you can apply this to money. You can apply this to your business, to work. You can apply this to parenting. You can apply this really to any area of your life. So whatever you feel the most charge around, apply this question to that area right now. So the question is really about sitting with the discomfort of what comes up when you just tolerate. It's really about tolerating for a moment. Well, what if this never comes into my life? Then what? And I want you guys to share, if you can just take a moment and really feel into that and really allow yourself to just practice, like I call it detoxing from the desire, because what happens is we have these desires that ultimately our ego gets really wrapped up in. And when we're operating from our ego and we're like, well, I need love because of XYZ. I need love to be happy. I need love for, sometimes we get wrapped up in like acceptance from my family, acceptance from my friends. I want this kind of lifestyle. That's all the ego. So it's the desire turns into this it's not really coming from your higher self. And so there's no way that you can actually attract love that's really your highest love. Mm-hmm. You might attract relationships, but it can't be that divine, powerful, epic soulmate partnership that is sustainable and lasting if you attracted it in from a place of your ego and desperation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's great. I'm just checking the comments over here. Someone said second question so deep. Yeah, and really for anything, I mean, you could think, have I been living for love? Have I been working out and going to the gym or taking care of myself? Because deep down, I really hope it's gonna attract the right guy or get my man reinterested in me or whatever it is. That you kind of think about, wow, have I been like living for this thing that's like far off in the future rather than living for yourself or for the present moment, just the enjoyment of the moment. So anything come up for you guys around this? We'd love to hear. That's why we wanted to do this one live.
And this question really, really is deep, and it will be different for everyone, and it's subtle. So it's like, I want you guys to really approach it with a bit of reverence, because it can actually transform your life if you really go into this question and sit with it long enough. It takes 5 or 10 minutes really of just feeling into, okay, well, if that is out of the question, like just tolerate for a moment that is just completely out of the question. Mm-hmm. And I don't even want to tell you what is going to happen by doing that, because it is going to be different for each person, I think. But exactly like what Helena is saying, what you might notice is that at least what I've seen is that there's all these ways that we've been programmed that are actually giving our power away and leaking our energy. And I know a lot of the people that are here because they want to embody their feminine energy and your feminine power and really step into that magnetic, powerful, radiant woman that is your highest truth and it is who you are. But in order to do that, we have to unplug from the teachings and the paradigms and the beliefs that are actually really working against us. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to detox and let go of what's preventing your truth from being present, rather than just trying to like become someone like you're already your highest possible self. You're already all powerful. It's just the beliefs that are distorting your energy and preventing your life from lining up with your highest power.
Yeah. We actually recorded a video together, kind of a shorter video on the difference between submission versus surrender, which I should post soon because I think it's exactly what you're talking about. If you guys are interested in this, we can Anya's like a total expert on this. So Maria says, I still doubt sometimes, but Helena, you changed my whole perspective on life and love. Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. Wow. I had to say no about calling a new guy. I would find other ways to experience and source that love in my life through my relationships, animals, connecting to nature, meditation, traveling, joyful experiences, self-love, and self-care. Absolutely. So, for anyone who has things like that, this is what I would do. See where you can start bringing some of that energy into your life experience now, right? Rather than kind of waiting for that guy to come along or waiting for your relationship to improve before allowing yourself to do some of these things, right? I would ask, take that desire away. I want a husband and love. It's not a need. I've learned to love with open hands. Beautiful. Sometimes what Anya's talking about here, which I love the way you explain that so beautifully, is sometimes we want something so bad that we're like wanting it more than we're able to allow it in right now. Right? Like, if you guys ever wanted something so bad that it kind of like hurts your heart, it's like painful. Yes, right? It's totally like just painful. That desire is so strong that you're wanting it more than you're able to allow it in right now. So that's what this does with Anya's, this whole disempowerment detox, I believe you call it, right? Detoxing from that like desire, like that subconscious need to have something before you really truly allow yourself to be happy. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah.
That was just, yeah.
Like, you know how if you haven't exercised for a while, your body, you can kind of feel like there's a lot of energy that's just all over the place. And then after you exercise, or let's say go to the spa, and I don't know, sometimes I like to go to these like $25 drop-in spa places, and there's like a hot tub and a sauna and a steam room and a cold plunge. And what I experience through this process is slowly but surely, like over the course of 2 hours, I release energy and I release thoughts. I just release kind of this energy that's pent up in my system. And when I leave, I feel clear. And so the disempowerment detoxification process is about recognizing that all we're doing in terms of healing and stepping into empowerment is releasing what's not your truth, what's not your true power. It's not about like, and this is really key with manifesting too. We think that in order to manifest something, we're like building it, we're like creating it out of nothing. But manifestation is way more about receiving and allowing than it is about creating something that doesn't exist. So that's really similar to this too, is the disempowerment detox process. It really has as much to do with releasing what's not your power and what's not your truth than it does with activating, the energies that are more dormant, your feminine power, those feminine energies.
From my language, it's like you have to believe it exists, right? You have to believe that your soulmate is out there walking around on this planet right now, right? Or the money you want to attract exists. It's out there. It's in circulation. Like it all exists. Even if you're, I've worked with women trying to manifest pregnancies, right? And we work with how that soul that they're seeking exists somewhere and connecting to it rather than feeling like I have to create this dream guy that doesn't exist. It's like he can't show up unless you believe that he's out there, right? Yeah.
So if you have to, like, your person exists. Yeah. He's not just gonna like spontaneously create himself like out of, he's already there. So he's already manifested. So if you want to manifest him, you actually are just simply going through the process of receiving him. Yes. And allowing that energy to come into your life.
Yeah, I love it. Janelle says, I'm doing this now and following all your teachings. Oh, awesome. Yes, we'd love to hear how this goes for you. Yes, this is so true. The energies are so strong and sometimes from us out of whack. I totally agree. Tula, that's usually like what it is. Our energy is just out of whack. Hi, Sarah. Let's see. Total epiphany. Best things in life come from open-mindedness and toleration. Thank you very much, ladies. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm glad this was helpful for you. So we wanted to keep this one under 20 minutes. I think we might be able to do it. Let's recap these two questions. The first one I posed was, what would you do differently if the love of your life or this reconnection that you're hoping to happen with your man was an absolute guarantee to you and it was right around the corner? What would you do differently and how would you feel? Is there anything different that would be like in your life experience? That kind of shifts your vibe and gets you out of your head, this urgent kind of strategic energy into your body, into the present moment, which is obviously very attractive and magnetic to not just your man or your soulmate, but to all of your desires. That's what draws it right in. And do you want to recap the second one?
Yeah, and question number 2 is, if this never came into my life, what would I do differently? How would I wake up and feel every day? How would I show up in my life? And what that question does, if you really get deep, is it allows you to see that there may be subtle ways that you're not taking action and living your truth, and you're actually waiting for things to happen for you, and you're not embodying the frequency and energy that's necessary to attract that dream life to you. Because really the way I see that is if you're doing something other than what you would be doing, if that person was already here or the money was already here, then you're not an energetic match. Like, and there's just absolutely no way that person can find you if you're hiding in your studio or your apartment, waiting for them to come. Like, whatever it is that you're not doing or that you're doing because they're not already here is exactly what's preventing them from being able to come into your life.
Yeah, beautiful. That was perfect. You said it all right there. Yeah, Janelle says, I'd stop looking. I'd stop trying to do things, stop the masculine energy. If it never came, I would just focus on myself. Yeah, what I found when I ask women these two questions, the answer to them is usually very similar. Yeah. If I knew he was right around the corner, I would, exactly what you said, Janelle, feel feel peaceful. I would just kind of relax a little more. I'd be more in the moment. And if if you were to take that factor out of the equation, I would just start living for myself. I'd take care of myself because it feels good. And I'd really just enjoy every moment for what it had to offer. So, anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, they're going to slip my mind. Oh, the disempowerment detox. We should probably talk about it.
Oh yes! Yeah. Oh my gosh, totally forgot about that. So we're right on time too. So this is perfect. Yeah. Anya is so generously she just finished this amazing program called the Disempowerment Detox, and she wants to offer it just for women in my community. So it was the only place you will see this at 50% off, right? And the link to that is in the description right below this video. There's no promo code. It's just a special page just for people watching this video, and just for a limited time. I believe just this week she's going to offer that at 50% off. For all of you guys, if you want to take a step further into this, and do you want to explain a little bit more about it?
It's a 4-part video series. There's 3 videos and then a bonus video with actually one of my business partners, Josh, and he's a divine masculine perspective. So it's a really powerful video, that 4th one. But it's a super deep process. It's like a 3-day workshop really online, and you go deeply into each of these questions. And I actually help you go through the detoxification process as well as go through a feminine activation. It's like a meditation, but it's really a subconscious rewiring so that you're able to access energies that maybe you haven't felt before, which then brings you more into alignment with what you want. So it's a really deep process. Maybe some of you guys have already done it, I'm not sure, but very powerful. We had 500 women go through it recently, and it was life-changing. So yeah, I'm excited for everyone to be able to access it still. And it's, not available at this rate anywhere else. So I'm really grateful to be able to be here. I love this community. I love working with Helena and just sharing all of our own experiences with you guys. This is deep. This is really deep stuff. Like what we're talking about in this video is so powerful. So definitely, if you want to go deeper, that's the place to go.
Yeah, amazing. Do you mind taking a couple questions, or should we go? Okay, we just stay a couple more minutes. Places to meet men. I would say start living your life in public more.
Exactly.
Yeah. We had this. When was it? I don't even remember. But Anya had a self-imposed be social challenge just because working from home. I know a lot of our friends that do what we do. It's like it can be easy just to like not live your life in public and just kind of get into this routine where you're kind of just indoors a lot. So just living, I don't know what you do for work or what your social life's like, but I would say expanding your social circle and just living your life in public more would be the thing.
Yeah, but not doing it because you're going to meet someone. Exactly. Literally just doing it because if that was not a possibility, then what would you be doing differently? Likely you'd be more active, or you'd be more social. You wouldn't be hiding. You wouldn't be waiting for things to come. You wouldn't be waiting for opportunities. You would literally just be fearless and go do the life that you want to live. And in that, so quickly, things will happen.
Yeah.
I actually have a story really quick that there was a moment that, 2 really, really important people came into my life recently. And it was a night that I had almost stayed in to watch Netflix. I'm not even kidding. But it was during my challenge to myself. And I decided that I was going to go out to this dance class, even though I wanted to stay in and watch a movie. And that was the very night that I met these 2 really important people. So it's a perfect example of like, I chose to step into the life that I know is in alignment with who I really am. And in that, the universe was able to give me the gift. Like the universe wants to give you everything you want. It's just like, are you showing up for those gifts? Are you showing up? Yeah.
Let yourself be available to the magic, because there's not gonna, those amazing people that now you work with, and it's just like so incredible. They're not going to show up on your doorstep, right? So, and when you do this, and I've had clients do this, we were talking about this kind of be social challenge that telling everyone about. You might catch yourself when you walk into, let's say, a coffee shop to go do some work, or go, wherever it is you go. You might look around and catch yourself going, okay, like, are there any available men here? Who has a wedding ring on? Who's on a date? And just catch that tendency. Or if you feel disappointed because there was a guy sitting next to you and he gets up and leaves, catch those things. It's really important that can really start to shift everything for you. You should do a whole video.
Totally, because those are energy leaks. Actually, you're hyper focused on, oh my God, where's the cute guy in the room? And oh my God, like, who am I gonna like hang out with tonight? That's a huge drain on your feminine energy and power. Like, massive. And it's an addiction too. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would working to repair be considered masculine, or should we let go and expect to reach its potential as already manifested? Great question. Great question. I would say if you are align with yourself, and this goes for everybody, any question really, and then follow your impulses, right? Any action you take to reconnect coming from a place of lack or anxiety or insecurity or not wanting that guy to slip through your fingers is always counterproductive. It always leads to more feelings of lack or insecurity, whatever what it is that you were feeling when you were acting out of that emotion. So do this disempowerment detox. Ask yourself these questions, align with yourself, get yourself to a good feeling place, and then follow your impulses. Then if you have an impulse to reach out, coming from that really grounded, secure place, go for it. Trust those impulses when you're coming from an empowered place. That's what I would say.
My brain went completely blank when the question was being said.
Okay, yeah,
but I think
they keep disappearing.
Yeah, so. The one thing that is popping up right now too is let your job be to not act out of your wound. If you can commit to acting out of your power and acting out of like a place of trust and strength, even when your brain is saying so many other things, and you just commit to you doing what you know is the right thing to do in that moment, and not like leaning in and being all like, I need to figure this out right now, and just acting in strength, even if it's excruciating. If you practice showing up in your power and not acting out of your wound, there's no way that things will not unfold the way they're meant to. Because you're choosing out of your fear, and you're choosing out of your ego, and you're choosing into your higher self. So that's one thing.
Yeah. Same. This applies to all these questions. Question from Dean about, so align back with yourself and then follow your impulses, right? Don't try to work things out with someone when you're coming from this, like you said, exhausted, spiritually drained place. Your work is to reconnect with your true self, and then you can't make a mistake from there. There are no fatal choices from that place, right?
Yeah.
Larissa says, please do a video on that hyper focusing. Oh, that would be a great one. That would be so good.
Cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I want to do that.
Yeah. Okay, this was great. We kept it to under 30 minutes. So that was good. We have to run. We love you guys so much. Check out Anya's Disempowerment Detox. You've never seen a live with us. So sweet. Thank you so much for showing up. Check out the Disempowerment Detox, 50% off for a limited time, just for you wonderful ladies in my community. The link's in the description right now. I'll also try to add to the comment section later in a couple hours when we get back. We love you guys so much. Thank you. We hope to do this again soon. Have a great night.